Why you mad at Papa? Why you mad at Papa? Why you mad at Papa?
Because you're so literal that it's infuriating. And words matter to you, and I know that.
Words matter.
Infuriating. Okay.
I can see that you're infuriated.
I want you to know.
I know that you're infuriated.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Welcome back to Secondhand Therapy. We want to remind you that we are not licensed professionals. We're not therapists. This is not a substitute for advice. We are just two dudes. It's not substitute for advice. It's not substitute for real therapy.
Yeah. Not professional advice in any way.
No, not at all. Please don't. Yeah, just try to enjoy the show, you know?
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. If you want to contact us, all of our pages, Instagram, YouTube, we have a link tree now. Has all our stuff, including a contact us button with email and phone number and all that. So thank you for being here. Hope you enjoy the episode. I didn't know if I was going to bring this up.
Okay.
On the pod.
Oh, this is going to be juicy. Okay.
Well, because I'm still in between therapists.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have any therapy to share. So I thought I've been back and forth if I should just tell you about the fight me and my girl had last night.
Oh, yes. Give us the tea.
You know? So here's where we are at.
Okay.
We live in Las Vegas.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Agree. And we live in a very nice part of town.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're used to paying Los Angeles prices. And even though we're paying less money for rent here, we bougie.
Yeah.
We a bougie. Now, is this big-ass house less than our 2-bedroom apartment? Yes.
Poor in L.A., ballin' in Vegas.
Ballin' in Vegas.
Imagine if we went to, like, fucking Ohio.
Oh, my God.
Buddy.
But we could buy Ohio. But we are in a nice part of town. Yeah. Now, it seems likely that your car, which was parked out on the street of our neighborhood, may have been tampered with.
Yeah, I didn't want to sound like an alarmist the other day, but yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah. So you think someone might have tried to get your catalytic converter?
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. 1, I feel for you. 2, I hate the fact that I never had any type of safety or my possessions being fucked with in LA.
Yeah.
Of all places, and then we're here for 2 months, and that sucks.
In a cul-de-sac, we're in a
residential fucking sucks.
Yeah,
I hate it. But my girl was like, she's like, yeah, it's uncomfortable. Like, she's had her car broken into before. She's had her house broken into before.
Wow.
She's like, it's a very violating thing. And I was, I'm like, well, the house, I get it. The car, I don't identify with, my car doesn't feel like an extension of me. Right. My home, for sure.
Yeah.
A car, it's more of a pain in the ass for me. Now, should I have just validated her feelings? Yes. Is that the fight? No. Okay. So, yeah, she's just like, I have this kind of like unsafe feeling. It's uncomfortable. And we have a backyard. Mm-hmm. In that backyard lies a pool.
Yeah.
We have, as part of our lease, they cover the pool maintenance. Pool guy comes once a week. The side gate is not locked because the pool guy has to come once a week. And we're in a cul-de-sac. And also, there's nothing of value in the yard.
Yeah.
So,
there's literally nothing there.
But in the kitchen drawer is a master lock that is for that gate. She said, I think I would like to put this lock on the gate. I said, okay, we just have to remember to take it off Thursday mornings so the pool guy can come and go.
Right.
She said, okay. She picks up the lock. She goes to the door to go to the backyard, stops, and says, I'm just going to do this in the morning. And I said, what?
Yeah.
She said, I'm just going to do it in the morning. And I said, why? And she said, it's really dark. I don't know. It feels scary right now.
Mm.
So I said, would you like me to go put the lock on the gate? She said, no, I'll just do it in the morning. I said, okie dokie. Now,
Yeah.
where do you think I fucked up there?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Don't answer that.
Looking back at gameplay, I want to like circle things like Madden and just be
Yeah.
yeah.
So fast forward.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, a half hour. We're upstairs in our bedroom. The vibe's off.
Yeah.
Vibe is off. Okay. I go, what's going on? She goes, what? And I go, is something bothering you? And she goes, yeah, I don't like what happened downstairs.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, in my head, you got to be fucking kidding me. Not out loud.
Not out loud.
Not
no,
out
no.
loud.
No.
In my head, you got to be fucking kidding me. And I go, what happened downstairs?
What happened downstairs? Refresh me.
I don't want to be presumptuous,
Right? Hey,
you know?
that's a
I
good
don't want to
move.
assume somebody's feelings.
That's a good move.
And you know, we got into a conversation about what happened downstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and turns out that it was a moment for her where she was struggling to have direct communication and asking for her needs to be met.
Yeah.
And she was frustrated that obviously she wanted the lock on the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't I put the lock on the gate? And I asked you, would you like me to put the lock on the gate?
Yeah.
And you said, no, you'll do it in the morning. And I have to kill both of us now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. This is a classic. This is an OG.
Tale as old as time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So her ask is like, there are times when I can't be direct with what I need.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I need you to be able to meet me in the middle. My side, I thought that's what I was doing. Because my instinct is to go put the lock on the gate. My instinct to do that is because you said, I feel uncomfortable or unsafe. I don't want you to feel that way, so I want to do something. And that is codependent. Me taking responsibility for her feelings is codependent. I know that I have codependent tendencies.
Yeah.
And I consciously have to manage them. My way of doing that, instead of going to put the lock on the gate, is to ask. Because what I would like to do is just be like, oh, okay, and not say anything else. And if she wants me to put the lock on the gate, she can come to me and ask. What I thought I was doing of meeting in the middle, instead of letting her come to me, was asking, would you like me to do that? And that was the wrong thing to do. Evidently.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
Can I challenge you a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is the difference between codependency and just doing the thing that needs to be done? Like just being nice. I don't want to say nice. I just want to like just going ahead and taking care of that like your instinct wanted you to do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I know that the reason I wanted to do it is because I don't want her to feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make her feelings my responsibility. because then anything she's feeling, I'm going to want to fix, or her feelings can't control my feelings or what I'm doing. I have to be an autonomous individual, and we have a partnership. And she and I have had many conversations about the importance and the effort we're putting in to maintaining a strong connection and cultivating our relationship to be a place where we can have open and honest, judgment-free communication. And so in those moments if she's like, when you ask me if I want to put the lock on the gate, I can't say yes. We never got into what the reason was she couldn't say yes. I assume it's embarrassment or feeling needy or whatever. We're cultivating the space so you can do that.
Yeah.
So you can go, hey, I'm scared of the dark. I feel like a fucking child. Can you put the lock on the gate? And I go, no problem. You can say the hard thing. I can say yes without giving you shit or judging you. That's what we're trying to do here. And I thought that's what we were doing here.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Two things.
Just rambling. Go ahead.
Two things.
Yeah.
One is going back to that idea of like the difference or that line between codependency and just doing the thing.
I'm not an expert. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Let's get Ken Gar on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. Can we phone a friend? What
if you didn't listen to the Ken Gar episode?
Oh, buddy.
On codependency, you fucked up. Go check it out. He blew my mind for an hour straight.
Yeah. I think this might be one of those areas where you have a hard line in the sand, right? Where you are like, it's this or that, like that is codependency. So I will not do that. But sometimes we live in that gray, right? And like, where does love blend in and like break some of those rules sometimes? Like this is a moment where that rule can be broken and it won't affect, it's not going to be a slippery slope of, well, now every time she even hints at something, I'm going to like stop whatever I'm doing and do it for her, like take over or help or whatever. Like this feels like a moment that would be able to live in that gray, to just be like, oh, I'm just going to go put that on that thing.
That's what you would have done.
Yeah, in that moment, I wouldn't have looked at it as such a hard line of being like, no, I will not let her feelings affect my feelings, and I'd be like, I'm just gonna do that because clearly, she wants it done, and for whatever reason, she can't tell me the severity of how badly she wants it done right now. So I'm just gonna fucking do it right now. That doesn't mean I'm gonna do it every time. That doesn't mean that it again like that felt like a moment where you can live in the gray. And I didn't know if that's something that you're able to do or if it's just, nope, I said I was going to stop. I wouldn't let feelings affect my feelings or like, whatever that line is and being like, nope, that's not what we're doing here. Is that the issue?
I was just waiting for that explanation to stop.
And that's deflection. Go on.
Take a quick break and then we'll talk about it. Little break, Bear Cubs. If you want to support the podcast, we would really, really appreciate that. You can do so on Patreon, patreon.com/secondhandtherapypod. You can get ad-free episodes. You get episodes of Secondhand Therapy early and ad-free, as I said. You get our non-therapy podcast if you go with the higher tier every Monday, the other shit show. You get all kinds of bonuses and exclusives. Check us out, patreon.com/secondhandtherapypod. Here's a couple ads. We'll be right back. No, for me, it wasn't a conscious analysis of drawing a line or anything like that. It's the bigger picture of, so here's how I see it.
Yeah.
She feels unsafe because your car may have been tampered with. Okay. That is a feeling. We put the lock on the gate. Does that feeling go away? Probably not. Then what do we need? Do we need security cameras? Does that make the feeling go away? Probably not. So we're battling a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Feelings are not facts. It is not a fact that we are unsafe. It's a feeling that, that sucks. This car might have got fucked with. Fuck.
Yeah.
Hate that. Like where are we going with this? Like we can't be, and I'm not saying putting lock on the gate is not a big thing, but it's rooted in a feeling. Let's say we put the lock on the gate and then, like I said, well, can we get cameras? Okay. And then what? We got to get bars on the windows?
Yeah.
And all because of a feeling. Like, because the truth is, we're not unsafe. With the lock on the gate, hop the fence, right? You're in the backyard. There's nothing of value in the backyard. Let's say you get in the house. Take whatever you want. Who gives a shit? It's things, it's stuff. It will feel very violating. We're going to be safe. Let's say they come upstairs into the bedroom. One, to get in the house, all of our windows are locked. You're going to have to break a window. We have a dog. If it doesn't wake us up, the dog is for certain going to be barking their ass off.
Yeah.
We're going to know someone's in the house. I have a gun. Take whatever you want. We are not in danger. We're fine. So if the battle is against this feeling, we can't win that battle. And that's kind of the root of where I'm at. Like, there's nothing I can do to take that feeling away from you.
Mm-hmm.
If it's about putting the lock on the gate, you don't feel like doing it, great. I can't take that feeling away from you. And I know that. And I know that the lock on the gate doesn't take that feeling away. So I can't go into something trying to fix a feeling.
Yeah.
I can't. That's not the kind of partner I want to be for my partner. And that's not the kind of person I want to be for me. Because like I said, when I was talking to Ken, I related to things he was saying about in past relationships where I do like go above and beyond. And then I get resentful that those things aren't being done back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to dip my toe in the codependent thing. I'm not. But I hear you. It would have been very easy just to get the log on the thing and go to it. I chose not to. Might have been the wrong choice, but that's a choice I made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I can't battle. I'm battling my feelings all goddamn day. I can't be battling everybody else's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Does that make sense to you at all?
Yes. Yeah, I guess I didn't think of like and then, you know.
Oh yeah.
But the immediate thing there is what I would be battling, which is just like she says this will make her feel better.
Will it? Do you know your partner? That's going to cure fear if I go put the lock on the gate?
No, but if I've been in scenarios like that where not in that feeling
of course.
this or that, but like something where I'm like, I just need this done. I will feel better if I know that this is done.
Yeah.
And it does. It helps me in that moment. I'm like, oh, okay. I feel better now.
Yeah.
But that's a gamble. You know what I mean? That's not a guaranteed thing. That's not saying that like, yeah, you're going to do that and everything's fine. And now we all live in fucking, Pleasantville and it's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like, no, of course not. But, I am somebody with high anxiety and, I've been in scenarios where I'm like, if this thing was different, just this one thing was different, I would feel better. Yeah.
Is that usually true?
I don't know if it's true as a fact, but does it trick my mind? Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, not a guarantee. Everybody's different.
Guaranteed.
And but
yeah, and you and I just operate. You and I, you and I do not experience life the same way.
Yeah.
And you and I do not, right now, you and I are in the same exact moment.
Hmm.
We're experiencing it very differently.
Yeah.
And so I don't have the processing of, I just have to get through this moment.
Hmm.
That, hey man, this moment, gone. The
Yeah.
next one feels a lot similar. Like, I just don't have, if I fix this one little thing, nah, man,
Yeah.
this bitch is a marathon, my guy.
Yeah.
And I think because I have that outlook, I know, not that it's a slippery slope, but I can't take responsibility for other people's feelings.
Yeah.
I can't. I want to do my best to support you through them in the way that I can. And spoiler alert, I'm going to have to ask what you need from me there too. Because
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you need. Everybody's experiencing life different than me. And I'm just now coming around to that.
Yeah.
I still often think people do things the same way I do. That's why I don't get
Yeah.
it most of the time. Like, why would you do it that way? Oh, because you experience this much differently than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And also, to get back to the moment, let's say I do be like, oh, I'll do it and put the thing on the gate. Knowing my girl, 50-50, she's going to go, I'm not a child.
Yeah.
If I really wanted the lock on the gate, I would have done it. So what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did what I thought was best.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
In that moment, I'm just thinking about how, like, why I think that way of being like, this was the second thing earlier, was like, you keep saying that, I don't know what they need, and in my head, I'm like, oh, she told you. And in my head, like, my partner has expressed what they need. They need to, in order to feel a little safer, they want the lock on their thing. Okay. That's not a big ask. I can do that right now.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, and it doesn't, for me, it wouldn't break into like, oh, now I have to do this every time, or now I'm codependent, or now it doesn't go into the and then in either direction of like, this doesn't solve it, or codependency direction. It lives in that moment again, because I'm trying to get through that moment.
Yeah.
So in that moment, I'm making the call to be like, oh, this is what she needs. She doesn't know how to really ask for it. I'm just going to knock it out.
Yeah.
But again, my lens is people pleasing. My lens is codependency. My lens is and my lens is, how do I get through right now?
Hey, 10 years ago would have been exactly my answer.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Just put the lock on the gate.
Yeah.
How fucking hard is that? Hey, it's not hard at all.
Yeah.
It's not about the effort that goes into putting the lock on the gate.
Yeah.
It goes on to a whole other mess of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we sat in that for a while. And yeah, just kind of, I mean, we're good now.
Yeah.
We've gotten good at like repairing and reconnecting. But yeah, it was a weird one. It was a weird one last night. Like I even told her, I was like, I'm very frustrated with you. I am so frustrated with you. She's like, okay, why? And I'm like, because I met you in the middle. I didn't make you come to me. I didn't just do it.
Yeah.
I asked you if you wanted help. And you're upset. You're saying meet me in the middle. I did that. I was like, it's frustrating. Yeah. It's really frustrating. And then
and that didn't help. Wow.
And then she said, okay, you're frustrated. I understand. That makes sense.
Yeah.
What would you like to say? And I said,
No, you
do I
said nothing. You should say nothing.
That would have been the right answer. And I said, it's okay for me to say whatever I want out of frustration, and it won't be held against me, and you know that I don't actually mean it. I don't know if I said the last part. In retrospect, I wish I had.
Yeah.
And she said, yes, say what you need to say. And before her answer was done, I said, oh, grow the fuck up.
Oof.
I need you to grow up. And she goes, okay, anything else? And I was like, I'm sorry if that was crossing the line, but that's what I want to say. I want to yell at you to grow up.
Yeah.
Because and I told the same thing I just told you, like, we are working on creating a space of asking for our needs to be met and being vulnerable. And I think I'm doing that. And it's very hard for me when I feel like you're not. And then we talked about like parts and like which parts of mine are involved here and which parts of hers. And yeah, so that was the fight over a lock on the gate. Yeah, stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think a lot of your frustration stems from the same place, and I'm sure you already know this, which is being forced to grow up very quickly as a child.
Yeah.
And your frustration when others aren't in similar positions or aren't up to your speed or standards or whatever place marker you want to put there. And I think that's very frustrating to you because you had to. This is something that comes up a lot when you're frustrated is
Grow up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a common feeling for me.
Yeah. Have you worked through any of that frustration rooted in therapy? Those kind of part works of like forgiving and allowing that childlike part, just being like, hey, it's not your fault you had to grow up so fast, or hey, mom still loved you, she just was busy, and these kind of things, like all of those things that kind of forced you to be in fast forward and grow up so quickly.
Well, I have good news and bad news, and they're both the same.
Okay.
We have to take a break. So if you guys would like to support the podcast, we would really appreciate it. We appreciate you being here. Secondhand Therapy. Hey, we work hard on this, and it sucks to talk about this. I want to leave the room right now. Anyway, if you want to support the podcast, as we said earlier, we have a Patreon. We also have merch available. Secondhandtherapypod.com. We got some dope hoodies. We got some t-shirts. We got some hats. We got all kinds of good stuff. Stickers.
Yeah.
Our faces. All kinds of stuff. So, if you enjoy the pod and you are looking for a way to support, Patreon or merch would be great. We'd appreciate it. Here's a couple of ads. We'll be right back. I have discussed that in therapy. I talked about this with my girl the other night, or whatever. I don't know what time of day it was, and who gives a shit?
Yeah.
She was talking about. Oh no, it was in the aftermath of the lock gate.
Yeah. Lock it.
And she was talking about, I don't know how we got into it, but she was talking about growing up and how while she lived at home, she never had to think about what she was going to eat for dinner because her mom made dinner every single night.
Yeah.
And I have been feeding myself and doing my own laundry since I was 12.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. Like, my mom always made sure we had food in the house and all that, but like, We get home from school, it's an empty house. Like if we're hungry, we make food
Mm.
and we eat dinner when we want. And like we got laundry, well, my mom will do her laundry and she'll say, "Hey, if you want anything washed, put it in the hallway or whatever. If you don't, you're on your own for laundry."
Yeah.
And I've had a job since I was 16. So when moms do laundry, I'm usually working. So I'm on my own for laundry. And yeah, so I don't get it.
Yeah.
I just don't get it when people are doing what I perceive to be quick medial tasks.
Yeah.
Why is that hard?
Mm-hmm.
We're all adults. You can't knock that out real quick. Hey, how do you get through life? Oh, like a human, like the rest of us. We're all humans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So growing up young, for sure,
Yeah.
has mapped over into a lot of frustration. I've done a little bit of things around that. Not enough. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're on the opposite end, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the severe opposite end.
Yeah.
Mother made breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I never had to think about any of that. The most thing I had was she would give me options.
Yeah.
My mother not only would not allow me or show me how to do laundry, she
Oh.
would come in and steal laundry out of my room. Like
She would just do it so you had clean clothes.
Yeah, she would just do it.
Sounds awesome.
So even if I like tried a shirt on and like left it out or something, like, well, that's getting washed. So like I had no real say over any of that.
In the present time, when it was happening,
Yeah,
was that frustrating or it was just normal?
wasn't on my radar. I thought everybody just operated this way. I was an only child. I didn't like. I never talked to my friends about, hey, you doing your laundry?
Yeah.
It just wasn't on my radar.
But like when you were at your friend's house, you never saw their parents like doing their laundry or like
No.
never even on the radar.
No, that wasn't a thing that ever came up or was discussed or anything like that. Yeah. I probably didn't do my own laundry until I was in my 20s.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had to teach myself how to do laundry because I was like, Mom never told me how to do this. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do here. So I had to figure it out.
Did you just experiment?
Yeah. Yeah. YouTube wasn't as advanced when I was a young man and that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'll figure this out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do laundry like a motherfucker now.
Oh, yeah.
You do laundry 3 times a week.
And even speaking of like what you just said, like, yeah, I don't understand how you can't just like do little tasks, like just knock them out or whatever. This is how different it is. I was so proud of myself this morning because I'm leaving soon, and I had to do laundry, and I also had to run to the store this morning to get some breakfast items, and so I had told myself, just take your laundry down now when you leave for the grocery store, throw it in, and then go to the store, and I did that.
Adderall, baby.
Yeah, and I was so happy with I was like, look at you, dude. Like, you're on top of things. Like, I was so proud that I fucking did that on my way out the door. Because those little tasks for me are sometimes so overwhelming that they just keep getting pushed back more and more throughout the day.
So if you had forgot to grab it,
Mm-hmm.
would you have gone back upstairs?
No.
Oh.
It would be like, I'll do that later, or I'll do that when I come down again, or I'll do that after when I go down to make lunch. I'll take my stuff down. And who knows if it would actually get done or not?
Yeah.
Probably with Adderall now. But before, who knows, dude? Who knows? So, like, when you're talking about, like, yeah, just like, who doesn't know? people like me. That little task can be really big.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't. I wish it was different. I wish I looked at it, all those things, but like
Logically, do you know it's not big?
absolutely.
Feels
Abso-fucking-lutely.
feels big.
Yeah.
And you're just not at the point where you can
Well,
understand that
now it's better, yes, but
feelings aren't facts. They're just feelings.
now
Yeah.
when you're feeling them.
Yeah.
Oh, let me. Okay, so you're having a.
He's fired
Oh,
up.
I'm fired up.
He's
You ready?
fired up.
You
Yeah.
ready for it?
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Feelings aren't
No.
facts?
Can I take a guess?
Yeah.
We're gonna go to the most extreme. When you're having a panic attack,
Yeah.
you can't just think your way out of it.
You're just gonna go, oh, these aren't facts. Hey, man, feels real, doesn't it?
Hey, a panic attack and oopie, forgot to grab the laundry. Not the same.
True.
Because one is a biological reaction inside your body.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a feeling of overwhelm. It's a attack.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I know that you like to go to the most extreme thing you can.
Sure.
Be like, okay, so is it that? That's not what we're doing.
Right. I'm just telling
If
you.
you'd like to come up with a comparable thing to discuss, I'd love to do that with you.
Sure. I'm just saying in general, that
Yeah.
feeling of being overwhelmed is
Mhm.
real in that moment.
Understood. I'm not saying it's not.
Okay.
I'm saying the feeling that this is a huge task
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make it a huge task.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yes,
And I'm
but
saying you're not at a point where logic can be like, hey, I know this feels big, but if I go upstairs and get these clothes and then go to the store, it's gonna feel way better when I get home.
yes,
Yeah.
I will say yes 90% of the time.
Okay.
But
no
there's
one is
still-
attacking you.
I know, but I'm just saying, but there's still that small sliver in there.
Yeah.
I'm just explaining because you can't see this side of it. And so I'm not saying that this is an every time thing. I'm not saying that this is like, oh, laundry is like crazy and I can't ever do it. But there are times where there is that sliver, even when I know, like, just knock it out.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I could.
You can.
And that's what gets me fired up.
But you can't.
Sure.
Because if it's just a sliver
Mm-hmm.
and the sliver then comes, I wish I could.
Yeah.
That's not okay. I
That's-
don't get it.
and
Hey, I don't
that's-
understand it. I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I know. And that's
I want to get it.
I don't understand it either. I guess is what I'm saying is like that's not a choice for me. I think that my frustration is I feel like you're saying, well, you're making that choice not to do that. And I'm like,
You are. You are.
Okay.
I understand that it's hard for you to hear, and I
Sure.
understand that that is upsetting.
I
You
wish
are-
you could just
You are making that choice.
mm-hmm. ...
But I understand that it doesn't seem or feel like an easy choice. But you are making the choice. I do believe that.
Technically, I am making a choice. Technically. For your tism. Yes.
Okie doke.
But it is overwhelming and hard to make that choice.
Hear ya.
And it is not something that I can always overcome.
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
But you are making a choice.
Technically, yes.
That's where we're at. Okie doke. Why you mad at Papa? Why you mad at Papa? Why you mad at Papa?
Because you're so fucking literal that it's infuriating. And words matter to you, and I know that.
Words matter.
Infuriating. Okay.
I can see that you're infuriated.
I want you to know.
I know that you're infuriated.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Because you're not under attack.
Because we go through
I'm
these
not judging
literal-
you. I'm not judging you.
Yeah.
I'm
It
just saying I
feels
don't
like-
understand.
Why does it feel like judgment then? I can't make you feel that way. Why does it come off as judgment then?
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
you like you said, your go-to response is, oh, you're trying to embarrass me.
Mm.
And then you go into fight or flight.
Yeah.
And then I think that you're in survival mode. And I think all that judgment, attack, I think it all feels the same.
Yeah, it feels like disbelief. And I'm like,
Yeah, it comes off that way because trauma.
yeah, I'm
He
like,
goes, go to therapy. He goes, what are you doing? Do the laundry.
I gotta get out of here. I gotta take a commercial. I gotta fucking get away from you for a minute.
Take it.
Thanks for listening to Secondhand Therapy. We do have a Patreon. You're going to hear more ads. You've probably already heard a bunch of ads. Go to Patreon. There's tons of stuff on there. There's merch available, hoodies like this, stickers, all kinds of great stuff. You get episodes early. You get a bonus podcast, a non-therapy podcast that we do. You get full episodes there. All that is on Patreon, and it's all ad-free.
Oh, you've skirted it long enough. You want to talk about some therapy that you did or what?
No, okay, back to the lock. Now,
Yeah. Lock it up.
Lock
what have you been working on?
Oh, God.
I know it ain't laundry.
More frustration. But this time around.
Oh, infuriating.
Inward.
Oh, frustration with self.
Frustration with self.
Okay. Let's hear it.
One of us had a birthday.
One of us is now 42 years young.
That's right.
One of us.
One of us.
One of us is still in our mid-30s. One of us is now 42.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of us had a birthday. Let's talk about it.
One of us had a birthday and had therapy on their birthday.
Reschedule it.
Don't recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, don't do that. If you're listening, hey, don't do that.
You don't want to do that.
No. And so it came up. He said, "How are you feeling on your birthday?" I said,
Did you tell him it was your birthday? Or did he know?
He knew.
Yeah.
And I said,
nosy motherfucker.
I said, it's fine, And he's like, of course, what everybody asks, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just working.
Yeah, minding my business. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You want to join me?
He's like, you're not, this and that. I said, no. And he goes, well, how do you feel about that? And honestly, half of me didn't give a fuck.
That you weren't doing anything?
Yeah. Half of me is like, who cares? It's a birthday. I'm not into that. Whatever. The other half of me is like disappointed, frustrated, sad.
Yeah.
A little lonely. Because I didn't make any plans for myself. And he's like, okay, let's go with that. Let's talk about that more. And I'm like, okay. So we started down that path, which kind of led us down to the frustration I have with myself overall, which is, again, like putting myself last. So like, I do make plans sometimes for myself. And then I break those plans every time. Because they're just for me, and it doesn't matter if they actually happen or not because I'm not letting anybody down. Hey, man, you're letting your fucking self down. But that doesn't matter to me, and it should. Recent example of this was a few months ago. I was really busy filming for a few months in the summer, and then I had a big project come through in the fall, and it was going to be a pretty big thing that we were doing for a week of filming. And I was already traveling a lot and doing this show and doing, it was just like, it was a lot. And so I was like, all right, after this production wraps, I'm going to go away. I'm going to go away for like a weekend. You and I talked about maybe going to Ireland or something. Like I was dreaming big. I was like, I got to get out of here. And then and then I whittled it down to being like, okay, what can I actually do? And it was like, okay, I can go up to the Redwoods for a weekend, or I can go to Joshua Tree for a weekend. And I was like, I'm not going to take my laptop. I'm just going to just go and just be.
Mm-hmm.
And then sure enough, it got closer and closer. And then the weekend I was supposed to go came and went, and I didn't do that. Because I told myself, you don't have time for that, you don't have money for that, you don't have this or that. Like, I just gave myself the same excuses I always give myself. And then the end of the year happened, and you're doing that audit that you do for yourself. I don't know about you, but like at the end of the year, I always kind of like do a big reflection on like, what did I actually do this year? Because as someone who just gets through the moment, it's hard for me to see and like, it's hard for me, to take in what I have just completed when it happens, and B, it's hard for me to like keep track of that long term through the year. And so oftentimes at the end of the year, I'm like, I didn't fucking do anything. Like I didn't get anything done. And then I'm reflecting and I'm like 2 years ago, I was like, man, I didn't do anything. I was like, you shot 13 specials and 2 documentaries.
Yeah.
Like you did some things.
Yeah.
So that end of the year reflection was happening and I was like feeling really down this year more than others about like
On your birthday?
Yeah, about like I just keep breaking promises to myself.
Mm.
And I'm not thinking of myself. I'm not doing anything for me. And even like we got down to like day-to-day things where oftentimes I'll be like, I'm going to go for a hike today. You don't have time for that. You don't have, this or that. Like it just doesn't work out. And then I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm constantly breaking plans, whether they're big or small, for myself all the time.
Mm.
And that is so frustrating and such a hard habit to break for me.
And you do it because you don't have time?
Yeah. Spoiler alert, I do have time.
Nothing but time.
Nothing but time, dog.
Nothing but time. That's literally all we have.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just won't allow myself to have it. And I don't know if it is I don't know if the root is deserving or if it's just such a new thing that I don't even know how to implement it without feeling guilty, because that's the other half, right? So like if I were to go through with something, even a small thing, day before my birthday, I've been having a little hankering for a little burger joint around here.
Yeah.
And so I talk myself out of it most days.
Which is also in LA. If you're in LA, go to Herbs.
Oh, Herbs.
It's delicious.
It's incredible. So I was like, day before my birthday, you know what? I'm going to go have a fucking birthday burger. I'm going to escape, whatever.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's 20 minutes away.
On a bad day.
On a bad day.
Yeah.
I somehow have convinced myself that I don't have time to go, that it's too far, that even on the drive there, I pulled over to the side of the road and I sat on the side of the road for at least 3 or 4 minutes.
Big waste of time.
Big waste of time. Telling myself, you don't have time for this. What are you doing? Turn around. What the fuck are you doing?
Wow.
And I had to be like, no, it's your fucking birthday. Go get a burger.
Yeah.
And so I did. And I drove the other 6 minutes to the place and had a burger. But the entire time I was just feeling guilty and I felt so much shame and anger and frustration to myself, being like, what the fuck are you doing here, dude? You have work to do. Like, what are we doing? And then I couldn't stop thinking about all the stuff I needed to get done when I got back, trying to like make an order out of it. Okay, when I get back, I need to do this first, and then I'll do that, and then and I couldn't even enjoy the moment. So even in those, I said all that to say this, even in those moments where I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to do the thing. The entire time I'm doing the thing, I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this thing. It's so hard for me to give myself, I don't want to say a reward or a break, or I don't know what it is, but just give myself time. Yeah.
What would it mean if you gave yourself a break or time? Like, what would that mean? What's the belief?
That I'm not, this is what we got to, that I'm not being productive. And if I'm not being productive, then I have no value. If I can't, again, it goes back to that idea of servicing, right? Like if I can't help you out, then why would you keep me around? If I can't do something for you, or you can't, like if I can't provide some kind of service or be productive, the fuck would you need me for? Or why am I here?
Yeah.
You want me around? Are you out of your fucking mind? I have no value. Why would you want me around? So yeah, in those moments where I'm giving myself time, I'm not being productive, and therefore I'm not valuable.
To who?
The universe, to me, to anybody.
What would make you valuable to you?